I'm really sick of this. Isn't the worst cold I've ever had, but it's the most stubborn one. And it's taught me some lessons because when you're sick, you don't go out. You're not supposed to. And even though I got the type A work ethic, you know, I gotta go do something. And the true philosophy about being sick as well, you can feel ill and get stuff done, or you could feel ill and sit and do nothing. You're gonna feel like crap either way, so you might as well go do something. So I'm all for the like, hey, you might as well make hay while the sun shines, da, 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 da. But I know enough when I'm ill, especially this ill, not to go out. You don't go out. Not only because you don't want to get other people sick, but you just gotta delay it. You're gonna relapse. You're gonna get really tired. And I had no energy. This was a no joke cold. No joke. Hey, Alex Patino, truck driving Latino agent in the field there. Yeah, that's how excited I am. Well, I'm excited to do the video. Just don't have the energy. And I'm coming up on 2 weeks. It's been 12 days. Cappy Dynamite got the flu. 12 days of just staying at home, which is why I did all the video reviews, because I've watched more television, more movies in the past 2 weeks than I have in years, literally years. That's why I do the reviews. And being stuck in it, I learned something very depressing about human beings. All we do is we go outside, and then we go inside. That's it. That's it. My buddy Tony, he had the dark observations. I wrote about him in Curse of the High IQ. Smartest guy I know, 187 IQ, which I don't even know what test you're taking on that one. But he's super high IQ. And he says, because he talks like this, all you do is eat, shit, and sleep, and repeat it, and then you die. And he's kind of right. He was right. That's all humans ever do. I don't care if you're president of the United States. All you do is eat, shit, and sleep and die. That's it. Kind of on the same wavelength. All I realized is all humans do is they want to go out and then they want to go in. That's it. You're inside. Where do you want to go? You want to go outside. You outside. Where do you want? I want to go back in. Oh, you might spend some time outside and you might spend some time inside. But inevitably, all I could think about was like, man, I want to go outside. And thankfully, Dog of no real value. She got injured. She had a busted leg. So me and her sat as pitiful, sad creatures. It was good to see her again. I love her so much. She was just so, even in her half energized state. Oh, she was in bad shape. They had her on some kind of drugs, and she was throwing up, and she could barely wake her. I thought she'd come in jumping up and down to see me. That poor girl was so sick, and you could see her, like, her head would move a little bit, like, and her tail was kind of slowly going. I'm like, wow, you are in pain, sweetheart. And so over time she got better. Took her off the meds because they were causing more harm than good. And her leg injury started to heal a little bit, but she started to get her appetite back. She wasn't ill anymore off the medicine. And all I could muster up to do would be like, hey, you want to go for a walk? And she'd, yeah, her whole body's wagging, but she couldn't because she was slightly injured. So we took a very tepid, very easy walk. And all I could think of, the cripple old man walk once around the block. That's it. Just so she's got to go poo, get some exercise, or get the sun. And I get off that couch. And man, halfway around, you're at the not the equinox, what do they call it? The apogee. You're the furthest away from the house that you're gonna be, and you're like, oh, you know where I want to be? I want to be inside. 5 minutes ago, I wanted to be outside. Now I'm outside. Oh man, I just want to be inside. I'd muster up the strength to go drive down to the gelato store. That's when I'm sick, when I'm no joke sick, I don't the diet goes out, everything goes on. And I was sick enough, I didn't even have no guilt not getting outside or doing the gym. There's a little bit, but that was unconscious and uncontrollable. It's just like, yeah, yeah, I know, Claire. You talk to yourself? Yeah, yeah, I know, Clary. Sadly, if you sat there with me and Dog of No Real Value in the Southern Command, that's all it was, because the owner of the dog was gone. It's me talking to myself and talking to the dog. That's it. Who else you gonna talk to? Come on. And I'm as hard on myself as you. Come on, you dipshit, you moron, you idiot. You feeling sick? Even I'm not that nice to myself. I got it. No one's nice to me, including myself. So you gotta get food. I know that. Like, oh, I gotta go out. Okay, I want to go out, so I go to the gelato store, and that kind of put me in a better mood. Who doesn't like gelato? So I'd get it. I get the gelato. I'd eat it, looking all sad and pathetic, and then I'd be tired. I'm like, yep, time to go back in. I've done that for almost 2 weeks, and I realized just how you think I'm joking. I'm not. It really is to go out when you want in and in when you're out. To not be static, to not be in the same place or conditioned to be in the same like you're condemned to be in the same place because that's imprisonment, that's slavery. It may not slavery, but it's imprisonment. I think the human body, the human mind needs to go out when it's in when it's out so that it knows that it can. And I kind of got this real dark glimpse into nursing home world. Now I'm not a cripple by any stretch of the imagination. I was not bedridden. I was just sick. And maybe I'd go get some food, come back. Pink box donuts. That's you ever go to Vegas, you gotta get pink box donuts. That cures a cold. That and gelato. That's what my doc told me anyway. Screw you guys. But I was starting to think like, wow, imagine if you couldn't even go out. Like you're stuck in the whole time. Not because they prevent you from going out, but you just can't go out. You're physically incapable of going out, mentally or physically. You can't drive the car. And even having that subdued, like I still went for walks. I still got out and got some food, maybe drove around a little bit. I even took Dog of No Real Value to the dog park. And we played pitiful ball. Very pitiful ball. The world's worst game of fetch you ever saw. I just kind of roll the ball because she busted up her leg and you don't want to re-injure it. So I didn't roll it that far. I just kind of rolled it maybe 10, 15 yards. She'd chase after it and come back. And I didn't throw it up in the air. She could catch the ball in the air, but I don't want her jumping on her leg. So it was this most sad and pitiful game of fetch you ever saw in your life. Two sad, pathetic middle-aged creatures, because Dog of No Real Value is a middle-aged woman. And we go out and look pathetic together. But we could do that. We could go out. I'm thinking like, wow, what would happen if like remember the quarantine? I didn't follow that. I didn't follow that one day, in case you were wondering, those who know better. I didn't follow your recommendations. Nope. I didn't have to go out at all. I went out every freaking day and every freaking night because I'm not staying in. Because I'm not a slave, unlike everyone else. Well, okay, stay in because the people said so. So people that never left their house for 6 months. Like, what the hell's wrong with you people? I would go out. And then but like I was saying before, though, you think about the people at the nursing home. I'm like, oh man, this is a close enough flyby for me to know I never want that. Never want that. But then I also asked, like, okay, so why am I down? I could still go out, right? Why am I down that I can't go out enough? I can't go to the gym. And it realized to me how important it is to go out, for the human psyche. Not just to go out for the sake of going, but like to be actually able to go out full guns blazing. Like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go bowling. I'm going to go hiking. because I was like, man, even if I had to live in this semi-safe, let's say, okay, Cappy's sick. Me being sick is equal to your average American fat ass, right? Maybe goes for a walk once a day, gets out and goes get some junk food. I'm being deadly serious. Like me sick is your average fat ass American, right? No, not worth it. Bullet in the head. No way could no. It's starting to get to me psychologically right now. Like I got to get out. I got to go do something physical. I got to get some physical exercise. So that's a no go. Can't that's not acceptable. So I need to not only go out but go out and do a lot of things because that gives you life. But think about that. All it is going out. That's it. And then when you're out, you're out, you're doing whatever, you're at the poker game, you're going out for cocktails, you're going dancing. What do you want? It's getting time. I want to go home. And it just repeats the cycle. And I think that's it. I think a lot of cycles. You look at night and day, the seasons, blooming. You see it all over in nature. I think that's it. I think that's it. That is the point and purpose in life is the cycle, to repeat the cycle. Man, I can't wait to get a good night's rest. Oh, I got a great night's. Oh, now let's get out. Oh, now time to go back. Like that's and then I don't know if that's happy or sad. Like that's all we ever did. Or what did you do? Well, they went in, yeah, then they went out, yeah, then they came back in because they were tired of being out, yeah. But guess what? What? Well, then they got tired of being in. No way. You know what they did? No. What did they do? They went out. That's it. Oh, sometimes you go out and hit a couple countries along the way, sure. Or maybe you go to war. You always come back home. And maybe just sitting on my ass for 12 hours. I wish 12 hours, 12 days. Oh, I'm just like that. And oh my God, guys, did it blow by? Holy cow. From the day I got sick, from that no good, shaggy redhead, from that dirty, no good tornado chasing kid, he's the one who got me sick. Hey, Clarey, I'm kind of sick. I'm sorry, man, but just don't, lick the pillows or nothing. All right, well, I was close. I should have went in with so much Lysol. I should have done that. But that was 12 days ago. And it's when in the movies, to indicate a ton of time has flown by. They put the sun rising and the sun setting like on super fast speed and it just zips through the sky. Dark light, dark light, dark light, dark light. Night day, night day, night day, night day. And then the shadows move, indicating the seasons are like the sun's going further up to the north. That's what it was like. It was just this blur. It was like yesterday I wasn't like lying around falling asleep at 2 PM. And all of a sudden, bam, 12 days later, I'm like, what happened? Doesn't help the sun goes down at 4:30 in the afternoon anymore, but all of a sudden it's time to go to bed. And I'm like, if anything, it taught me to do more. As if I wasn't doing enough already. As if I wasn't, going 110% with the after. It's just like, oh man, it can't be. Life cannot just be, oh, I woke up. I left work for work. I had some food. I took a crap. Maybe if you're really good with your hygiene, you brush your teeth because you got toothbrush and toothpaste at the office. And then I went home and then I ate. I took another crap and then I went to bed. Like, no. Because, man, half a month is gone. Half a month is gone. And I had all this stuff I wanted to do. And I couldn't because I was sick. And I'm like, oh, I didn't get anywhere near the hikes I wanted. I did get some hiking and that was good. I was really looking forward to getting to, and that's another thing I found out. There, unless your job is working out, I'm calling it. There is no way for a normal working guy through a normal life. Well, maybe there's the problem. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I do bite off more than I can chew. But after the house kind of got done and everything was going back to normal, I could start doing podcasts again. I could go to the gym regularly. I was going to the gym regularly. It's almost like life has got it out for you, like, "Nope, you can't do that, because now we're gonna do this to you and that to you, and you gotta do this big project. Now you got that. You're gonna make time for the gym." Shut up, I know, but not when I'm sick. And I was there, guys. I was there. I was back to an equilibrium. I was back to that precious cycle, that beautiful balance I had where I'd yell at you morons on the internet and make fun of Atham's small Mexican penis in the morning. And then in the evening, I go, or afternoon, I go run my errands and do my things and hit the gym. Then I go play poker with the guys, then come back and watch maybe a good show, some Magnum PI. Girlfriend would be dressed in lingerie, have a little fun on the kitchen island. And then it'd be like, hey, it's sleepy time. All right, go play. I did start getting into Assassin's Creed. I had the balance, guys. I had it. And get down to the Southern Command. Understandably, had to do yard work. Had to fire up the vehicle. That's at least 2 days. I knew that was gonna happen. And then I was like, oh, now I'm getting down in my Southern Command routine. Blah, sickness. And then just the days zip by. It was 3,000 years ago I was last healthy, when the red-headed ginger tornado chasing kid gave me the plague of death. And it was just interesting to take the foot off the gas pedal just a little bit, not cripple. I'm not old like Doc, who's retired, who's in the chat room, and just see, oh my God, that's all life is I get out of the house, then I go back into the house. Then I get out of the house, and I go back into the house. When you got a hot girlfriend, well, how does it work? A old buddy of mine, I don't know where he went. This guy was the ultimate player. Put Roosh, this guy was the ultimate player. Put me to shame. When you're in, you want out. When you're out, you want in. Oh, and the dog is guilty of that too. Oh my God. Dog of no real value. I want to make sure she's all sad and pathetic and everything. And she's like, and they can't speak English, like, what? What do you want? And then the natural thing, do you got to go potty? You got to go out? And then she'll put her snout by the door. I'm like, okay, she wants to go out. And I open up the door. And a typical woman turns around, looks at me like, well, you coming out? I'm like, no, I thought you wanted to go out. And then she comes back in. Well, you didn't want to go out. And you know what it was? She's just a for the attention. That's all she is. A black hole of attention. That's inevitably all she wants. She just wants you to give her a hug and scratch your ears and scratch her back and give her hugs. That's it. That's all she wants. It's merely a formality for you to open up the sliding door to let the dog out, for it just to turn around, not go to the bathroom. That's what he said when it came to women. When you're in, you want out. When you want what you want in. When you're dating, you don't have a girl, you want yourself a steady girl. When you got yourself a steady girl, you don't want to have the steady girl. You want to have a bunch of other gals that aren't steady. And maybe that's what keeps that dissatisfaction with the status quo, with your current state. That's what prompts people to action. I wouldn't necessarily say greatness, but life. Like, let's say you got perfectly satiated and satisfied. You'd conk out, right? No, I'm good. No, I got my harem. I got my gelato. I got dog of no real value to give hugs to. And schnook her attention on me. Oh, she's clever. She'll get attention out of you whether you know it or not. Like, no, I got everything. Well, what would you do? Well, then you lie down and do nothing. I think that discomfort, like, what did they always say? Settle down. No, what was it? Just be at peace. What did those asshole adults tell me? Those people were so wrong about everything in the world. What was it? Sit and chill. Like, the people who, like, will just be happy and content and sit and do nothing. They're so wrong. They're so wrong. It's like, "No, no, we gotta go out, even if it's just for the sake of a." My old man had a great quote, but it wasn't it wasn't his, he got it from another runner, and, he got it from an old man back when he was a younger man my age, and the guy, "Why do you run?" And the guy says, "So I can do it tomorrow." That's what keeps my old man still running, man, 74, 75, 76, somewhere around there. He's old. And he still runs. "Why do you do it?" "So I can do it tomorrow." That's the same thing. "Why do you get up?" "So I could get up tomorrow." "Why do you do this?" "So I do it tomorrow." "Why do you go to the gym?" "So I can lift this weight tomorrow." And I know maybe there's that Sisyphus. Is that the guy pushing the rock up the hill? And then you say, well, the rock is his point and purpose of existence. Like, oh, because otherwise there'd be nothing. You wouldn't even have a rock. There would be no hill to push up a non-existent rock. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but there's something to be said about the cycles and the yin and the yang and wanting the opposite of what you got. Not because you covet it. I mean, you can always go out, it's there, but you go there like, okay, I'm here now. Even maybe you guys have this happen to you too, especially the retired guys. Doc, I'd be curious to hear your opinion on this because Doc is retired. I just go out to have my routine, to have something to do. I can't just sit there. And the action of going to, it's the same coffee store. There's nothing new or novel going to happen. But in going to the coffee store, there's a part of my brain that's stimulated, like, okay, we're at least doing something. We're moving forward. I go to the, not the gas station, the post office. I get the mail. You know, Rapid City is a good 30 minutes away. I'm not gonna waste an hour round trip. You know, if I go to town, I'm gonna get my errands in. But it's become this kind of, even frustrating as it was, practically building my own damn house. At least there was something like, okay, I got somebody, especially in the thick of it. I didn't have the days didn't go. They just went at a glacial pace, especially hauling the gravel to backfill the retaining walls. Oh God, did that take forever? But when you went out, for whatever it may have been, I've even driven around just to smoke a cigar and listen to it's hard. It's really hard. But I took the fun car out. I got a convertible, took the fun car out, cigar, and I just drove through the Black Hills, which is why I went there. I remember one time saying, "Listen, you dumb SOB. You came out here so you could enjoy the Black Hills. And there is no production associated with taking a truly a Sunday morning drive or Sunday driver. Why don't you do that? Why don't you go and enjoy it for that sake? There's no goal, there's no destination. That is the destination, that is the goal." So I got a cigar, put the top down, got a MP3 player loaded up with a ton of jazz, hit play, plugged it in, and off I went. And even then, it was the action of going out that I think gave more purpose than the, "Oh, I am driving. I'm going for an enjoyable Sunday." And I forced myself. I had to say, like, no, there's nowhere to go. There's no errands to run. This is it. There's no opportunity cost either. You did all your chores. It's to go. And there's something I wonder if Schopenhauer wrote about this because he'd always go for walks. He always went for a daily walk. One of the other philosophers better than me in the chat room that have an idea what I'm talking about. But it there's some more there. Mark my words, especially for you young people. There is something there about not being satisfied where you're at. I'm not saying you're miserable about it, but you're not, you get uncomfortable being in all the time. Then you get tired of being out all the time and you always go back to the opposite. I'm wondering if that cycle isn't what keeps you alive somehow. Like, and it doesn't give you purpose and reason in living. I mean, it gives you short-term purpose, but there's something else more there. All right, let's go to super chats if we got any. We got a lot of articles to cover. Nonstop trade for $2. Cappy is sick and angry manlet disease. Hey, I got the article. I'm not the only one. Hey, oh, that's Ugly Caveman. I thought that was Atham. Joy Davis, one of the few girls we have. And Donna's in the house. Oh, look at all the girls here. 2 shots of whiskey every night. I don't blame you. See, drinking did solve a lot of those problems. It did. What are you gonna do? Drink. And I don't think about this stuff. The brain goes off. I go to my happy place. Never mind that my kidneys hurt the next day, but Nonstop Dre 2 books. Why did you discipline the dog? Because that dog, not the dog of no real value, her stupid relative dog, was misbehaving. He was barking and making too much noise. And surprised, raised by a young little girl who didn't spend any time disciplining the dog. It's amazing what dogs would do when you discipline them. They even like you more. They follow you around more. And then you could just give them the look, and then they go, ooh. And then they get sheepish. Their head haunches down like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Dogs know. Dogs are way smarter than humans. Way smarter than humans. Be strong, $2. Most doctors and hospitals are very incompetent. Dong is fun, $5. Cappy, have you heard of the channel called Legal Mindset on YouTube? I have. Weren't they recently interviewed with someone? Is this Nick Rikita's outfit or no? That's Rikita Law. It's a different one. He watches your channel. He says he'd like you to be on the channel one day. Hang on, let me look at Legal Mindset. Was that Nick's outfit? I've talked to Nick. Legal Mindset. Welcome to Legal Mindset. Is his name is this Andrew? Okay, no, this is a different lawyer. Well, I'm glad he listens, man. Look at how many subscribers he's got. He's like 87,000 subscribers. No, I'd love to go on his show. I should follow him on Legal Mindset on YouTube, and then you can follow him on Twitter, Legal Mindset. One word. It gets back to Dong, it gets back to there's only so much time in the day. And keep in mind, guys, I'm aiming at 50. Doc's a little older than me. He retired. I'm never going to retire. I know that I'll always be here. But I wish I hit this younger, man. I wish I hit it in my 20s, in my early 30s. Then I would have been around for a little bit while longer. Not going anywhere, but I really do want to just go have fun and relax, go play fetch with dog of no real value. Kind of watch the really crappy anime known as Berserk. Yeah, we'll one of these days when our schedules align. It really is a lot of times it's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'll call up Pop. I'm like, hey, are you around? And like, yeah, I'm around. You want to do? Oh yeah, let's do it. And then there's no promotion or anything like that. Like to be on. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Andrew on. The Doc. Everyone subscribe to Safety Doc, safetyphd.com. Oh, thanks for all the get wells. Everyone is Dale. Yeah, you see, but here's the thing. I did give myself a break. I've been sleeping about 10 hours a night on average. I go out only to get food and then come back. And then I've been playing Mafia. Great video game, by the way, except now I'm at the point where I got to shoot out 2 plane engines and they give you 12 seconds to do it. It sucks. It's like this impossible board to get past. I am giving myself a break, but this is a break. I got to do something. If you'll notice, I have done some consulting videos in the past. I hosted Rule Zero this past Saturday. It gets back to that thing. Look, you can feel crappy and do nothing, or you can feel crappy and do something. And as long as you're not overexerting yourself, you're not going to extend your sickness. And let's be honest, doing this is not physically taxing work. Okay. If anything, it taxes my voice a little bit. But I'm taking it easy. I'm definitely taking it easy. Nonstop Dre, $2. Cappy's routine: coffee, fap, nap, crap, and train. Doge. No, it is coffee. There is the coffee. You guys wanna hear my routine? Let me tell you my routine. And this is like new routine because I'm finally, after decades of wandering in the desert, this is like Moses, except he didn't be able to get into the land of Canaan because he screwed up. I don't know what he did. I didn't pay attention to Exodus that much. But I'm finally, okay, Vegas in the south, South Dakota in the north. Alternate the seasons. Uh, and both places, it's get good coffee. I had a couple videos back where this guy's like, "How do I spend my money? I'm afraid I'm too much of a penny pincher." I'm like, "Well, afford yourself some affordable, nice things. Good coffee is one of them." And so I go into town, and this place called Dark Canyon Coffee. Atham, look it up. Best coffee I've ever had. Best coffee of all places in Rapid City. Now, we ain't got no Trader Joe's, which I'm okay with, but we don't have a Kowalski's and we don't have a Lund's Byerly's. We do not have luxury groceries here. I'm very upset about that, but these are the ropes. But a blessing coming out of nowhere was really good coffee. They'll mail. Look them up. Dark Canyon Coffee. I think they might even mail. My favorite is the Highlander Grog version. I'm not promoting. They don't pay me. It's just really good coffee. Give it a shot. See if you like it. So I always have the coffee. And then the GF and I, we both work remotely. So she'll go check her email, make sure everything's good. And then she'll come back to bed. Usually by that time I'm up and we have our coffee. We stay in bed till 8:39. Nowhere to be. Force myself to anger management. Force some you time. Look out the window, look at the trees, relax. If it's cool or warm enough, I'll crack open the window and I can hear the wind chime I put in. Oh, I'm very Zen, very Buddhist now. I got wind chimes. I'm not. Although, great book, The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey, if you want to learn to relax. There's no FAP. That's what the GF is for. There's no nap. I hate naps. I take a crap right off the bat. Once I smell the coffee, I got to take a dump. And usually I take 2, sometimes 3 dumps before noon. That's all the coffee coming out. I don't eat until 1, but I'll do all my work videos, whatever else, get all that done out of the way. If there's some errands to run or something the house needs, which it doesn't, because I am proof that there's a finite amount of projects that is needed to be done in a house. So usually it's off run, grab whatever, soda water, hit the gym, come back for dinner, then I'll go back to town and play poker. Or maybe go to Deadwood or something like that. Usually get a hike in there somewhere else. That's it. I'm living the dream. Living the dream. Except now I'm sick. Now I can't go out. Channel 1800 dumb. 2 New Zealand dollars. Recovery is important, Cappy. Yep. Nope. That's why I didn't do any running or anything like that. Eric Burns Marsh. 10 generous dollars. And to follow up to Zeitgeist, Joseph talks about all the need for a resource-based economy. The idea that I had to look up what a resource, someone paid me to look at to the Venus Project. And I love how communists just pervert the English language. It's a resource-based economy. All economies are resource-based. It's how you allocate those resources. Are you going to allocate them based on who worked for them or because everybody should get them based on some ethereal rights? I thought all economies were, and that those who utter the phrase are Marxists who fried their brains on 420. So, see, you got to understand there's what the leftist meaning to words or phrases, and then there's what the actual English mean to the resource-based economy. That's every economy. You show me an economy that survives without resources, that functions without resources. You need resources. You need the materials and the input, and then you also need the labor, and then the factors of production. Well, 4 or 5 depends on how you want to. There was land, labor, and capital. Land, okay, I'd throw that in with capital, the equipment and the gear, but you need resources, especially if you're making a thing. You need labor. You need capital, which I would include your land, your factory, your machinery, your computers, whatever tools you're using. And then there would also be financial capital or money. Like you need the money, but I would argue that's entrepreneurship. That's the lightning bolt that causes life. You need an entrepreneur to come in there and run and start the business, which most employees don't want to do. But you're not making a car without using natural resources. Just everything's a resource-based economy. And so I don't know what the Marxists were resource-based economy, like, okay, what does that mean? Well, in our warped world, it means free crap and we don't have to work. Amazing how it always boils down to that. Really? Free crap so you don't have to work? I've never heard that before. Tell me more, my fine sophomore liberal arts major friend. Jenkins, 350 euros. Just had my own version of the pot rack store. Oh, Jenkins, you got to email me, man. Email me at Asshole Consultant. Tell me the story. Tell me the story. Dung is fun, $2. Cappy, you need a rock garden. No, I've look, I'm not going to go full woo-woo chakra crystals and all that. I'm not going to do a bonsai tree. I got my wind chimes. I got hiking. And I also don't have any problems. That's the key thing. No problems. Minimalism. All the problems are solved. Not a lot of problems. Just some maintenance. What was it? Oh, the GF. Because you're out west, there's these four-wheelers, the off-road vehicles. They're like razors or donkeys or whatever they're called. You take them off-road on dirt roads because the cars are too, they don't have the suspension force. So these are these off-road vehicles, kind of like dune buggies, except they go off-road. And she's like, oh, we should so get one. I'm like, oh, we so shouldn't. No. I don't know where we're going to put it in the garage. And I don't want another vehicle to maintain. Like, we can rent it. It's like a boat. No, we don't need a boat. Nope. No problems. No problems enter my house. None. And things are problems. Things are problems. They use maintenance. They got to be tended to. You have to deal with them. No, I don't want the presence of any more things in my house. And a rock garden, I have to tend to. See, a rock garden, now I got to dig it up, right? I got to put sand in there. Sand's going to blow away. I have to refill it with sand. I got to put the rocks in there. And then what if I don't want to do the rock garden? Am I just going to let it sit there and then it's going to gnaw at me? No. The best rock garden is to have no rock garden. It's like pets. I would love to have a dog, but I would love not having a dog more. I'll just sponge off of dog of no real value. Chris Kelver, $2. Don't ever change, Cappy. Keep critiquing boomers. I will. I'm pretty set in my path now. I'm old. I'm curmudgeonly. Eric Burns Marsh, $5. Loved your Zeitgeist video, except for religion. You need to find the flying spaghetti monster and have a personal relationship with him. The first representative of any religion that could prove to me that your God is the one and true God, prove it to me using the scientific method. You got a convert. There won't even be any belief. There will be knowledge. Oh, here we go. CNN flu season already. It wasn't me. It's not me. Flu season already hitting hard across half the U.S. and children's hospitals are still feeling the pressure from respiratory illness. I was wondering, is it because I heard a bunch of other people getting sick? Even like going out in public, I hear people coughing. I'm like, oh, that's the cough I got, not the one that my dad got me when I was 3 years old and was forced to clean out under my bed with a hand broom and had a massive allergic reaction. That sounds like that good phlegmy guttural cough. About half of the U.S. 22 states, along with Washington, D.C., New York, and Puerto Rico, is reporting very high respiratory illness activity as flu season sweeps throughout the country weeks earlier than usual. Hang on, I'm going to use this spray. That's the stuff. Multiple respiratory viruses are circulating nationwide, including flu, RSV, and the virus that causes the disease. And the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention tweeted Thursday that flu is contributing to a significant proportion of that circulation. And influenza activity continues to increase after nearly doubling in the last week in October. See, the number of flu illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths this season took another significant jump in the first week of November. The CDC now estimates that there has been at least 2.8 million illnesses, 23,000 hospital and 1,300 deaths from influenza. Wait a minute. So 1,000 deaths due to the flu in 1 week? So if we multiply times 52, that's over 500,000, which is also like something else that took 500,000 lives, according to some experts, right? But it wasn't just the flu, right? Right? It really wasn't just a bad flu, was it? Right? The flu is notoriously hard to predict. Here's the numbers. This season, there have been about 5 flu hospitalizations for every 100,000 people. Rates typically seen in December or January, CDC data. All right, so we're like in the thick of the season. About 13% of lab tests, more than 1 in 8 were positive for influenza, up from 9% the week above. Oh, it is a big bad bug. Did I tell you guys this? I didn't tell you guys this. So I have never gotten the chills. Never gotten the chills. To this day, I've never gotten body aches. Never got body aches. I've had fevers. I've had sweats. Never got the chills. Never had body aches. Except for this one. I actually got the chills. It's like hearing a rattlesnake for the first time. You don't know what it really is until you hear, but you know it's it. It was 72 degrees in the Southern Command. And I was in my bed, and I had not only all the blankets over me and my pajamas on, but I had all these other clothes I dumped on because we didn't have any other blankets. I'm like burrowed in there, and I was still cold. Well, then I had to pee. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to pee. No, I'm so warm in here because it gets cold in the desert. I want to say, but yeah, but you got to pee. Oh, I got to pee. I'll sleep. Why can't I be like 4 years old where I had a bladder that was bigger than myself? No, I just took one long pee. No, you're an old man now. You gotta go pee. So I get up and I go to the bathroom. And here's another thing though. So I'm drinking a ton of this tea and all these liquids. My pees are marathons. Like over a full minute peeing. Think about that. A full 60 seconds. That's a lot of pee. And there's been times I think I should have timed myself this one time because I was drinking so much tea and having so much soup and coffee and all that. I had to go for a solid 2 and you think you're done, and then all of a sudden your whatever, your system opens up the reserve bladder. Like, oh no, we're gonna be here for another 25 seconds. I guarantee you I had a 2-minute pee. So in there I had a 2-minute pee. Well, this wasn't one of them. This is at least a minute, and I'm like peeing, and I just start shaking uncontrollably. Not like I got Parkinson's or something, but I'm just like shaking and I'm cold. I'm like, why the hell am I? So I finished peeing, magically not one drop outside of the toilet bowl. And I go and I look at the thermometer or thermostat. I'm like, it's 72. And I'm like, oh my God, I got the chills. First time ever, almost 50 years, dozens, scores of sicknesses. Never had the chills. This one I did. So, let me get that. Let me get back to, there we go. Okay. Go back to the flu season. So 30% of lab tests, 1 in 8 were positive, up from 9 the week before. Although numbers are especially high this time of year, experts say the trends are otherwise following an expected pattern. And the early arrival of flu season doesn't necessarily mean it will last longer or be more severe. Thankfully, I'm on the end of it. I think I'm on the end of it. If you think I'm coughing a lot now, you should see me. I was coughing up blood before. Not a lot. It was mixed in with the phlegm. It was just because I irritated my voice. Chad's candidate she's on call. She got me lined up with a bunch of drugs, but this morning's the first time I didn't cough up a little blood in my phlegm. Isn't this wonderful? I hope you're all enjoying your dinner. Flu could cause severe outcomes, but it's not out of proportion this year compared to previous years. It's not like we're seeing a lot of hospitalizations without a lot of illness. Flu has been highest in the South. Data from Walgreens that tracks prescriptions for antiviral treatments such as Tamiflu suggests hotspots centered in Mississippi and Alabama. I wonder why down there, including Houston, New Orleans, up into Nashville. As flu smolders in the South, RSV is showing early signs slowing in the region. 1 in every 5 PCR tests for RSV were positive first week November. I don't know what that RSV thing is. Yeah, double the amount of children at one hospital for flu. Even a 10% increase of those who don't need hospitalization. Okay, ladies. Okay, I want all the women in the house say, oh, all right. Here's to all the American moms. Why do you all of a sudden care about your children when they develop a little cough that you rush them to the urgency room or emergency room or the hospital? Why? You don't care about your kids 364 days out of the year, right? You ship them off to daycare. You don't want to raise your kids. Why is it when your kid's sick, then it's a crisis, then it's an emergency? And then you go and send the kid in who just has a case of the sniffles and prevents, us middle-aged bachelors who probably do have something more serious, like who don't go in unless like, oh, there's something really wrong. Like, why don't you leave the hospital for the people who really need it? Not your little snot-nosed kid. And I don't believe for a second you actually care about your children that much. I don't believe it. What, do you get a day off from work? Is that it? Dragging your snot-nosed kid, literally snot-nosed kid, driving around. It's funner going to the urgency clinic than working your job. I don't believe you can like your kids that much. I really don't. You all ship them out to daycare. You love your job. You love your student loan debts. You love your MBAs. The behavior is concrete. It's cemented, in my opinion. So why do you care? Is the job that bad? Like it's better to sit in line at an emergency room because little Jimmy has the sniffles? I really think we need more of a pro upper middle income bachelor. I really do. Hey, don't you know? Should get up from that seat. Don't you know this 32-year-old 6-figure bachelor needs that seat? Don't you understand this man who has no obligations, no children, no wives, and no debt, and a really nice car bought and paid for with a luxury condo? Don't you know that he needs to get back to his office? You should let him take that seat in the restaurant. I don't care that grandma has got bronchitis. Don't you see this 48-year-old at the peak of his income earning years who never married and has a net worth of $5.7 million? Don't you know that shouldn't he have access to the medical facilities? Um, but even if just 10% of those need hospitalizations, it creates a lot of stress on healthcare facilities. So that what we're seeing is we've had over 250 hospitalizations of RSV alone on top of other circulating viruses. The pediatric ICU is full, Cummings said, and 7 patients are waiting to be transferred in. Across the country, the threat of the disease, while significantly less than it was a year ago, remains. Do you know that SARS still remains? You know that remains? Boo 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 boo. There you go. The flu is out there. All right. Did you know, Matt, two Canadian bucks? Can you imagine having a degree in women's studies? No, I can't. What I don't get, I could barely tolerate studying for my finance degree because we had to take all these BS business courses. And they were so stupid. They were so common sense. like a concept that could be explained in a paragraph, not joking, stretched out over like 2 projects and a book. I can't imagine what it's like studying a completely made up field that is all BS from scratch. Every concept, every theory, every philosophy, every idea that they've come up with is bogus. It's BS. I can't imagine studying something with 0 depth, 0 volume, and nothing that's tangible. Um, and you could see it when the people who study are mentally ill. I'm sorry, ladies, you're just mentally ill, and what few men study it. So I couldn't imagine sitting through 4 years of that crap, let alone writing the papers that is required to get a degree in that. And I can't imagine being someone with a degree like that. You are so handicapped and you're brainwashed thinking that you're oppressed, that you're completely unemployable. No one's gonna hire you, and you're doomed to a life of activism and politicking, which if that's the case, it's over for me. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that to be my job. No, no. Nonstop Dre, $2. Soon it'll be heart attack season instead of flu. I'm curious. I'm waiting. I want to see us 5 years out. Rusty Fuel, $2. Clarey is philosophizing. Is that like syphilis, but with thinking? There we go. All right. Where do we want to go? I try to find an article. Hang on. Confuses academics. Really? That didn't show up? Give me a second here, guys. No. I there was another article, and it's when I logged out of Yahoo Mail, and normally Yahoo Mail or Yahoo News I don't follow at all. But here it's the Scooby-Doo mystery. Sarah Lewis. Let's look up Sarah Lewis. Let's first look up and see who Sarah Lewis is. Sarah Lewis is also wondering where all the men have gone for the working. Here she is. She's an attractive young gal. I wouldn't listen to a word she says because I don't think she's more than 23 years old. I'm sorry, Sarah. There's no offense, but I'm not listening to someone half my age tell me about the real world. I'm just not. Especially if you work for Yahoo or Money Wise, which I'm there. She enjoys tackling topical personal finance issues for young people and women and covering the latest financial news. She has written for a millennial-focused personal finance blog. Well, what is it? Beg for more student loan bailouts? Half banked and was published in Rice Paper Magazine's 2019 anthology, Immersion, an Asian anthology of love, fantasy, and speculative fiction. Sarah, why don't you just get married to a nice man and have some kids? Okay? What is this? What? Her work appeared in the Financial Post, MSN Money, and Yahoo Finance. She was featured in an episode of the Globe and Mail Stress Test podcast. She has a Bachelor's of Science, University, Toronto. So that's, I guess, hang on. I want to find out more. I'm looking more at like, can this girl be saved? Because she looks like a pretty young gal. She could get married if she wanted to. A Bachelor's of Science. She just graduated last year, so she is 23 or 22. Dear, if you have a Bachelor's of Science, I'm going to assume it's STEM. Please stop wasting your time on journalism. Please. I mean, I hope this is a hobby and then you got a daytime job. Wise Publishing. What is Wise Publishing? Technology information. Wise Publishing owns and operates MoneyWise. MoneyWise is a digital 51 to 200 employees, privately held, founded in 2017. Okay. Okay. She is asking in her latest article on Yahoo, the most chilling metric of all, Mike Rowe warns that 7 million American men are done looking for work and have punched out. Here's why that's a serious problem. Okay, Sarah. Okay. I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give you a dream shot, kid. I got to do some. I still can't believe you're going to Top Gun. Penny Benjamin. I'm going to see if you figured it out. Let's see if you're a real journalist, okay, Sarah? Let's see if you got the chops to be a real no-joke journalist and whether you got it. Whether you figured out the Scooby-Doo mystery as to where have all the working men gone. Sarah writes, men have been steadily clocking out of the American workforce since pre-pandemic times, even now despite there being millions of job openings and an uncertain economic climate. While the U.S. labor market remains incredibly tight with the economy adding another 263,000 jobs in November, around 7 million prime-age men between ages 25 and 54 reportedly sitting it out. They are affirmatively not looking for work. They've punched out, they're done, TV host Mike Rowe said on the Brian Kilmeade show, citing research from economist Nick Eberstadt. I think I even quoted him in an article as well. Or maybe it was that other gal from the New York Times that was confused as to where have all the working men gone. So what's really happening in the country now that scares me right to my core fundamentally is that we've never had so much unrealized opportunity and so little enthusiasm for it. Don't miss. Hold on to your money. Jeff Bezos issued a financial... Huh? Oh, this is just YouTube, or no, Yahoo promoting more. All right, here the article continues. While the workforce participation rate is waning. Subtitle. Eberstadt first noted the decline in the numbers of men with jobs in his 2016 book, Men Without Work. I've noticed that since the 1990s when the data showed male labor force participation rate. A trend, he said, was exacerbated during the COVID-19 pandemic. While plenty of workers were laid off or left due to illness, not all of them returned to the labor force even after job openings picked up. The Minneapolis Federal Reserve Bank also found that 25% of prime-age Americans currently aren't working. While some say they're looking for jobs but can't find any, well, that's a lie. Others are actively choosing not to join the job hunt. They're honest. The report points to reasons like caregiving for an elderly parent or child, health-related concerns, retiring early, or going to school or joining the military. Okay, if you believe that, all right. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce surveyed Americans who lost their jobs during the pandemic. About a quarter said federal aid incentivized them not to actively look for work. Okay, so a quarter of them, this one I do believe because it makes sense. So a quarter of them, you paid them not to look. This is Trump, by the way. While about half aren't willing to take jobs that don't offer the option of remote work. Good for them. Maybe they also just grew a pair of balls. And you enabled it. Remember, you girls vote Democrat and socialism, right? You enabled all the stimmy checks, all the socialism, all the you don't have to work. Over a third of younger respondents said they were focusing on learning new skills and prioritizing their personal growth before re-entering the labor force. All right. So I could believe that. I mean, every Zoomer and millennial has to go to college twice. Once to major in the dumb crap that you were saying, follow your heart, money will follow. And then like, oh crap, I need a job. So you're, I'm back again. I'm back. I'm back in the saddle again. There's a growing gender gap. Oh, nosy. Are the women going to be working now? Oh, this is too bad. This is horrible. Oh, no. You're going to pay the taxes? Oh, it's too bad. Eberstadt says a vast majority of these prime-age men spend around 2,000 hours a year on screen, do little housework, and don't spend time volunteering. Why should they? Why would a man volunteer any of his time in today's society? You literally tell him you hate him. I know I'm simplifying that. You have not given them a pot. They do not feel welcome in their own country. First thing you do is accuse them of misogynies and the discriminations, and they're part of the patriarchy. And they're like, nope, out, done. I just got here. I just got my pubes yesterday. How did I oppress you? I've done nothing but agree with you because I want to feel your boob underneath your bra, not over the sweater. I have done nothing but support you. The mystery continues. However, there might be more to the story than men simply slacking off and sitting at home. Are we going to get it, Sarah? Are we going to get it? The decline of men in the workforce may be partially due to the drop in manufacturing jobs since the 1960s. That could be some of it, but you would imagine the IT revolution would more than compensate for that, which has either been automated or moved offshore. We're going to that old trope, huh? It can't simply be you paid them not to work. A quarter of them just cited that. The other quarter are lying, they don't want to work, or half. Additionally, research shows that women are more likely to have a 4-year college degrees compared to men, when post-secondary education typically comes with better employment prospects. No, it doesn't. Not anymore. Isn't it your team that's asking for the student loan bailouts because you hold 60% of the student loan debt? Women account for more than half of America's college-educated workforce, according to the Pew Research. There you go, ladies. All yours. All yours. You wanted to be men. Here you go. Have fun. What are you going to do? Whatever I want. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to do whatever I want. What am I going to do? I'm going to live cheaply. Are you voting Democrat, by the way? You are? Okay, so I can expect to continue to get subsidies for food, clothing, shelter. So I can really work on very little. Oh, by the way, are you gullible enough? You're an American woman, right? Are you gullible enough to believe that I have a touch of the tisms and any disability? You are good. You voted for that disability, right? Okay, good. Oh, yeah. Oh, Beauregard, get me the tism couch. I'm coming down with a case of the Asperger's, and I need disability and to live at home and no one to judge me. And even though I have magically the ability to be really good at video games, I have no ability to become good at anything else that requires work. You're voting Democrat, right? Right? You're going to give me the money? Okay. Yep. Oh, look at that. I tested positive for the tisms. Government check, please. College educated women are now participating in the labor force at the same rate they were before the pandemic, while the share of college educated men working or actively looking for work has lessened. Yes. We're winning. You do know we're winning, guys, right? We're winning. Your goal should be to not work. Okay. Now, morally, where you don't live off the taxpayer, right? That's where I like self-employment. That's why we recommend minimalism. So you don't need that much money. Oh, nosies! The women's are working more than the men's now. Oh, nosies! The women's are going to the colleges and taking on the debts for their jokes of degrees. Oh, nosies! It's a crisis. Let me totally not do anything and sit here and drink my tea. College educated, well, the share of college educated, why this is a problem. Now it's a problem. I thought you women wanted to lead. I'm confused. You want out, you want in, you want in, you want out. What do you girls want? You're just like the dog of no real value. Do you want to go out? Yeah, I want to go out. I'm going to put my snout right with the dog snot on the window of the sliding door. Dog snot, right there. Okay, open it up. Goes, I want to get back in. What? Can you girls make up your mind? Shouldn't you be celebrating this? You women are leaders of the economy now. You're leaders of working. Oh, shoot. Darn it. Really, Amazon? Here we go. Get that back. All right. You got what you asked for, didn't you? You're leading the labor market, right? You got most of the degrees. You're the leaders now. Bye. Have fun. Here so she says, why this is a problem. Am I afraid that it's gonna affect women most affected? Is that what it's gonna be? You know, the Hillary Clinton thing, women suffer most during war. Like, excuse me? Rowe calls the decline in male participation in the workforce the most chilling metric of all since it's an indication of what's to come. Yes. Reduced labor force participation has already taken its toll on lower paying industries. The leisure and hospitality sector has seen the highest quit rate since July of 2021, and retail isn't far behind. Okay, so people aren't getting their sandwiches delivered as quickly. This isn't the crisis I see coming down the road. In durable goods manufacturing, wholesale and retail trade, and health and education services are contending with the shortage of skilled workers. Oh, you mean if you go to that website at the Department of Labor that shows you what men do for jobs versus women, that we do all the real stuff? Like the building and the infrastructure and the electricity and the plumbing and the doctoring and the dentisting? Not to say women aren't in those fields, but nowhere near enough to compensate. Are you saying there might be a real economic slowdown? Oh. Oh, so there might. Oh, good thing I'm a minimalist. I won't get my baubles and trinkets. Where it's really gonna bite you girls in the ass is when you need something fixed. And there you are with your master's degree and whatever journalism. And you find dating a carpenter beneath you or an auto mechanic beneath you. It's gonna be hilarious. This puts more pressure on the remaining employees who may be dealing with longer hours, tougher responsibilities, and burnout. Too bad. Aw, that's too bad. You girls did vote for the social? You did vote for the socialism? You voted for the gimme that's, right? You voted for the free food, clothing, and shelter? Okay, cool. I don't care. Have fun working, ladies. Oh, won't someone please think of the children? Running your workers like this, asking them to do 20, 30% more because you're short staff, it's very much a short-term strategy. You're going to keep losing people. Paige Oymay, a professor at the University of North Carolina's Keenan Flagler business. Oh, there's a business school everybody knows. Sure, it ranks right up there with the Carlson School. Some employers like restaurants and airlines are reportedly offering higher wages. Oh my God, not higher wages. Anything but higher wages. Oh no. Although economists say this could be contributing towards inflation. No, it was printing off all the extra money that contributed towards the inflation. That's what it is. Since higher labor costs could drive up prices. That will happen too, yes. The US labor shortage will probably have to be solved by some combination of immigration, automation, and recession, writes Eberstadt in an op-ed for the Washington Post, but adds this is far from likely to reduce popular angst and discontent. So all of you swung and miss. You all swung and miss. If you remove the socialism and made it so that if people didn't work, they would starve, you would have these men entering the labor force. That's one thing right there. And then if you made women pretty and thin again, men would have a reason to work hard. Because here's what's going to happen. Okay, just listen to me. I know. You just got your degree. I know you're very educated. If men are going to starve, they'll work. Okay. And you girls keep voting Democrat for all the freebies, so now they're not going to work. They're not even going to work that much. And I'll admit, parents enable it to allowing them to live at home. I got it. All right. But both the parents and the government, and you girls who keep voting Democrat, you vote to give enough money to men so they don't have to work. And you're like, oh my God, they're not working. I wonder. So how about you stop doing that and they starve if they don't work? And I got news for you. They won't starve. They will go find a job. but they're only going to work to support themselves. They're not going to work more or excel or become the most they can be unless they have another reason to do so. And in times past, what gave men the reason to do so was hot, pretty young women. You may not like that. It may annoy you that men are hitting on you all the time. Like, she's a cute girl. I'm sure she's hit on plenty of times. But that incentive to go and chase the girlsa and then have a family, and then they have their own children involved, that is really what prompted men to work. And if you look at the income gap between men with children and men without children, men with children almost double the amount of income. They are twice as productive. They work twice. Well, they have a higher wage, but they not only do they work more, but they produce more per unit of labor. And that's how you get men back in the labor force. I look how the solution would be solved by some combination of immigration, automation, and recession. Has it dawned on any of you to ask men what they want? Have you asked men why aren't you working? They told you, well, I'm in the middle for finding myself. I mean, but you pay me not to. But have you said, well, if you were starving, would you work? Yes. So cut out the welfare. And if women were hot and nice and weren't going to divorce the guy, then then they'd have an incentive. They'd have a life, a reason to invest in. But you people, you academics, you journalists, whoa. So no, they didn't solve the Scooby-Doo mystery. They didn't solve it. I thought she was gonna go, but women have to pick up the slack. Um, but mark my words, this is women got what they want now, okay? Then like regular humans and like the dog of no real value, they're gonna turn around and say, well, I want that. You just had that. Yeah, but I wanted this, what I have now, but now I want that again. They're gonna cycle back. And it's gonna be from them scratching their armpits and scratching their jamoke and scratching their head like, "Whoa, where have all the working men gone?" They're gonna slowly realize that in getting what they wanted, they're the ones who are working more than men. Men are gonna become the parasitic class. Men are gonna stay at home and women are gonna get pissed, like, "How come you mean it?" In part because they wanna find a guy. They're gonna be frustrated dating all these men that they created through the Democrat voting. It's true, ladies, you got the Democrats you asked for. You did. So they'll be a little bit upset about that, but when they start realizing that they're doing the work, that they're working, and men aren't, like legit aren't as working as much, like that labor force participation rate where men's labor force participation rate hasn't recovered. That's awesome. That's going gold. That's Atlas shrugging like, see ya, bye. That is where they're gonna be like, men aren't working as much. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I could have swore 20 years ago that's what we were saying. Oh, and now you don't like your money going to the welfare state? Now you don't like paying out disability checks because he has a touch of the tism? Oh, you don't like your money going to people, and now you start questioning the veracity of people's disability claims or the welfare claims, or they need extra income claims. Oh, now that you're paying the taxes and working, now you're interested in that. Oh, that 2 years, 2 years max, you're going to start hearing that. If men's labor force participation rate keeps going down and men are not entering the labor force and more women are entering the labor force or getting college degrees and working, whether they're working real jobs or not, it's moot and academic because they think any job is a real job. Writing for wise money. All right. I wonder what a real degree is. If she got a degree in science, what is that? Once they realize they're being the responsible party and being the adults in the room, they're going to get pissed. And then there's going to be a big shame campaign. Men not working as much as, how dare you go on welfare? You're the ones who voted in the welfare state. You guys can't wait to give me government checks. You send your social worker people like, "Oh my god, were you aggrieved? Sign yes here and we could get you money." We will see. I will definitely see in my lifetime. Definitely. Old Cappy's got another quarter century at least on these tires. But you guys are gonna I think we're gonna see it easily within the next 5 years. If men keep dropping out of the labor force, you're gonna see it in 5 years where women are gonna be screaming bloody murder. They're gonna be howling at the unfairness that they're the ones working it, da da da. And all we gotta do is say, but that's what you wanted. Shouldn't you be celebrating? You are boss babe. You are leaders. You control the economy. You are in the institutions of power. You go girl. You've arrived. Now you want back in? You just said you wanted out. We gave you out. Now you want back in? Nah. Nah, we're gonna do this for a while. I've let the dog sit out there. I'm like, no, you sit out there. You no, you you lied to me. You have to go out and sit out there for a bit. We'll just leave that door closed and you girls can continue working. I mean, you girls at any point in time could change it. You know how? Voting away the welfare state. You could do it. You could stop voting Democrat. I'm not saying you got to vote Republican, but you vote for a party that is just like going to keep increasing government spending. Although I bet you, how much you guys want to bet when that happens, they're going to start attaching gender to it. Well, if you're a male, then here's your set of double standard rules, and then here's our set. So the women, if they're single moms or whatever, you have a hoo-ha. We get government aid, but you men, naughty, naughty, naughty men. So, nope, it will continue to remain a mystery, boys and girls. Did you know, man? $2, 60 years of feminism. Gone, baby, gone. That's all, folks. Yep, there you got it. You got it. You're ballpark now. Nah, you pay your property tax. Nah, you fix the gutters. No, you change the oil. No, I'm living at home with my mom. Did you vote for more free money? Thank you. Oh yeah, I'll get on that job search right away. Sure, sure. Playing video games. Where have all the good men gone? I don't know where they went. You voted Democrat. The government money came and destroyed all the real men. Doo-doo-doo. Kind of wonder what Zoomers and millennials, and to a lesser extent, maybe my general, what the men would look like if there was no parental or government money. Like if you just took it away and forced these kids out at 18. Like how many, would Seth Rogen be like a really strong dude? Would there be there would I know for a fact there'd be a lot more manly men. There'd be some more masculine. You girls would love it, but you'd hate it at the same time because they'd vote Republican or Libertarian. I love how you girls, it's like you go to the ammo store and say, I need the most damaging, shredded shotgun shells out there. Like, I don't want a bird left if I connect with it. And the guy said, well, why do you want that? Just give me the ammo. And he gives you like this most ripped up, shredded up ammo. And you put them in the shotgun and then you blow your foot off. You're like, my foot is blown off. Where's my foot? And that's what you did to the guys. You put life on easy mode, you give them free money, and then you're complaining they're not working. Gangaloo, new guy, 10 Canadian bucks. Women can work hard so I could sit at home and use my stimmy check to fund my waifu gotcha game. I'm not for men taking government checks. I mean, take it if you're going to run with it and invest it in something like if you're going to get a degree in computer programming, use it to buy a house, use it to buy some rental property. Um, Absolutely. If the women are gonna look, if they're you're gonna pay the taxes in the future anyway, you might as well get some of your money back. So if women are gonna do this, just take the money, but don't go above and beyond. All right? Don't go crazy. Get a really good degree, and let's say you make $110 an hour, or don't work 40 hours a week, work like 20. Make your 50 grand a year, and like, well, what do you do? Oh, I'm a computer programmer. Oh, well, you must make good money. Well, I only work 20 hours a week. Well, why don't you work more? No reason to. I'm not going to have a family. I'm not going to get married. Not going to have kids. I live with my parents. Well, why would I work more? Well, what about finding a woman? Let me show you the average woman at Walmart. Okay, let me show you that. All right, they're fat. And here's the divorce statistics. Here's this book called The Book of Numbers. All right. And then let's look at the tax rates. By the way, did you vote Democrat? You did vote Democrat. Okay. Well, here are the tax rates I'd face. So, no. By the way, did I tell you that I get all these different government aid things because my income is so low? Yeah, I make about as much as I would if I was working, you know, 30 hours a week. But why would I do that? Because then I don't get these government benefits. I'm glad you voted for that. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're just a bad person. Shh. The socialism is talking now. Let me scroll up. Torgo's in the house. Torgo, you had a comment. It was quote of the day. I took a screenshot of it in the comments. It was good. It was good. Try and remember what it was. Bob, $5. Do you think legit 4 can become decent looking using plastic surgery, or it's only for decent people to become more attractive? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you have a disfigured face or you have an ugly face, but you're not super short, I think it's possible to become decent looking using plastic surgery. Yes. Yes, I do. I mean, it depends on the plastic surgeon and what they're going to do. But yes, if you have an ugly face, which is rare, but some people do have an actual ugly face, you could improve it with plastic surgery. But if you're 5'5", wouldn't bother, man. You got to diagnose the right are you short or are you ugly? If you're ugly, but you're not short, okay, plastic surgery could solve that. If you're short and you're ugly, well, changing your face ain't going to do much of anything. So you got to be honest with yourself. Like, what is it? Let's get rid of these porn advertisements. The techie tech that time forgot, 10 generous dollars. One of our email cloud hosting services just got hit with ransomware. Now I have the honor of migrating endless amounts of Department of Defense contractor domains over to Office 365. Oh, that doesn't sound fun. That does not sound fun. You know what? Women want to lead. Let the women do it. There's got to be a gal, got a background in IT to do. She should do it. Let her do it. You want to go fishing, techie tech? Let's go fishing. How about we all go fishing, huh? Who wants to go fishing? This guy does. Man, 20 years when all those boomer mechanics and tradesmen die off, and there's not enough mechanics and tradesmen to go around. Oh, the guys are going to be hurting too, because for the most part, American men are pussies. You guys don't know how to fix your own crap. Oh God, it is going to be great. You think there's a labor shortage now? Nonstop Dre 360, $2. What's your thoughts on Asmon Gold Twitch for $2, Dre? For $2, I'm gonna go watch a Twitch streamer for hours to get an opinion. I don't even know who he is. All right, so I got that there. Not related. But yes, Eric, you did send this to me among some other people. Meet the 29-year-old teacher with 4 degrees who wants to join the Great Resignation because she's tired of working way above her paycheck. You got a babysitting degree, and you're complaining that you're making babysitting wages. Here we go. It felt like a calling. Nina's parents are both teachers in her home country of France. Oh, so it's even more lame. Her brother is teaching back home too. Her aunts, uncles, even her husband's father is a teacher. It's insane. Oh, yeah. A whole family of parasites. There was a familial pressure to become a teacher, to say the least, but Nina 29 says she's passionate about teaching. Oh, that word made over. What is French for passionate? Passionate? About teaching, and loves the kids she works so hard to educate. She taught for 2 years at France, has been teaching English language arts teacher. Wow. Okay, so nothing real. So you babysit kids 8 hours a day in an Arizona high school since the pandemic started. But she's not sure she could do it much longer. Like many workers, oh yeah, that teaching gig is so tough. Like many workers in the waning days of the pandemic, especially teachers, she's seeking a career change, but she's not entirely sure where to begin. As long as it doesn't involve math, am I right? Let me guess, there's not going to be, oh, she's looking at a computer programming boot camp. I just don't want to be a teacher, Nina. I thought it was your passion. I know this gal got a master's in biology and then just shut up and became a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, could that money have not been spent on someone else? She's a friend of mine too. Nina, a pseudonym Fortune is using to protect her for her privacy, recently wrote to the career guidance subreddit. But I've been in education for so long that I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to do anything remotely interesting, even though I have the fire and willingness to work hard. You're right, you don't. At least you're honest. Teaching is not a real job. You cannot do anything with it. The pandemic, which brought about 2 years of debating how and what to teach kids, fueled the teacher shortage that has put more pressure on staff. Isn't it great that the Democrats have been so successful in brainwashing young people that they don't have to work for a living, and their parents have enabled it, and the government programs have enabled it, that now they can't even find teachers? They can't find enough kids to major in education. The irony is that they push for all this worthless crap, and now the IRS can't find enough accounting majors to staff themselves. I mean, you leftists know that even in your leftist utopia, you still need people to do real jobs, right? The effect is similar. Hang on, man. Okay, I'm not. The effect is similar to, hang on, I'm always worried I'm muting myself. The effect is similar to what employees in corporate America face amid layoffs and the Great Resignation, in which millions of workers have vacated positions amid continued pandemic fatigue. The National Association Education poll from earlier this year found 80% of the union's members say jobs openings have led to more work and obligations, with more than half of members planning to leave education sooner than planned. Oh, it's too bad. In all honesty, though, the public schools are managed by a bunch of psychopathic Marxists at the state and local level. So maybe if we could just teach kids, and you parents and teachers, like, get out of the way and let them do their job. For once, I'll defend the teachers on that one. Nina counts herself among them, hoping to follow in the footsteps of the 300,000 teachers and public school staff who have left the profession since the pandemic. Good, good. Her reasons are plenty: lack of trusted support, stress and burnout. Oh man, I'd love to see you work a real job. Contending with hearing historic learning loss and depleted staffing. I thought I'd be a high school teacher for a while, maybe a high school teacher on a reservation, but no, Nina says, I don't think it would be good for me to be a high school teacher my whole life. Essentially, every time I'm frustrated with my job, I go on Indeed. The pandemic has made teaching unbearable. Nina moved to the American Southwest, fueled by a desire to work with the Native American population there, particularly the Navajo Nation. I know the area well. She had goals of teaching Native students what she found was a school system ravaged by the pandemic. The disease highlighted and exacerbated the inequalities facing Nina's average. No. It didn't highlight or exacerbate. It did not. You go to Cayena, you'll see the reservation. It's already apparent. It wasn't the disease that made it more apparent. When the school went remote, some of her students were stuck at home without a computer for online classroom or in environments in which online schooling was virtually impossible. Like many teachers across the country, Nia had to give a credit and pass along students who were far behind high school reading grade levels in the next grade. Broadly, the learning loss for America's children has erased decades of academic progress. You have had no decade. There's been no decades of academic progress. You got these kids when they're interviewed with college degrees, not can't tell you where China is, needing a student loan bailout, living at home at the age of 26. No, no, you teachers have not made any progress. What pains Nina more has been the pressure to graduate students who are simply not equipped nor ready to graduate. But what's the alternative? Waste years of their lives by holding them back? It's become untenable for her. Here's the sad truth: these kids should have never been born in the first place. That's it. Parents don't have enough money to go and buy them a computer. Parents have more kids they could afford. There you go. There's your answer. You're there to babysit the unloved and unwanted children of America. That is what your job is, teachers. Then there's the school administration. She feels patronized, undervalued, and not trusted constantly, she says. And the school is so short-staffed that she's been forced to teach special education classes. Oh, no. They're asking us to do things that are way above our paycheck, says Nina, who holds 2 master's degrees. Here we go, in Native American Studies and American Studies plus 2 bachelor's degrees. Just say you didn't wanna work. Tell me you don't wanna work without telling me you don't wanna work. I'm not a special education teacher, and I'm not paid like one. Yeah, you are. Looking at the right next career has become almost a hobby these days, she says. I don't know, find a husband, suck his dick. She finds herself a question for the girls in the audience, we got a couple of you. Does this tiresome and beleaguering life that these women lead, where I'm gonna help out, whatever, in this case, the American Indian population, or whatever, the children, and then they fail, and they, "Oh, this I don't like this, I'm gonna do some." Doesn't that exhaust you? Doesn't that seem tiring? Aren't you exasperated? This ain't even in your life. Do is are there any young women looking at this saying, "This is dumb. I'm not gonna I forget it. I'd just rather get married and stay at home and make the babies." Is that ever popping up in discussion? She says she finds herself drawn to non-work work. I mean, nonprofit work, the political or advocacy sphere, even something still in education or academia, anything but teaching. Okay, so you don't want to work. Okay, good luck. Again, what is so wrong about hopping on a guy's dick? I want to use my skills that I spent so much of my time learning and that brought me here to the US. Nina says, I came to the US to work with Native American people and work for environmental rights. Oh, yeah, you did a great job, sweetheart. It happened for a little bit when I was doing my PhD program, but the pandemic happened and lack of funding happened. So here I am. Oh, you're faced into the real world, huh? Feeling stuck with no way out. Teacher could be a comfortable gig. That's what Nina's parents always preached. Yeah, the time off of job security. She doesn't want to go get too comfortable, though. A colleague of hers has a PhD and told her he started teaching just to pay the bills, but fell into the trap and has been teaching much longer than originally planned. What do you mean you go get your doctorate and then you don't teach? Isn't that why you got your doctorate? I just want to be paid to sit and pontificate and tell other people what to do with their money. She's got 4 Benina is unsure at this point how to navigate such a career change while she's got 4 degrees under her belt in the neck. How many other people could have been educated with that? She's not even gonna use this degree. Well, how many other people could have been taught something like auto mechanics or something valuable? For all intents and purposes, exceeds the scope of her current job. Nina's worried that if she waits too long, the PhD she acquired in 2018 will become all but irrelevant. And she doesn't want to be stuck in an endless job search. Penis, right over there. A colleague somewhat jokingly told her recently they'd been looking for a career change for 15 years. Just kind of felt, yeah, I don't want to be her, Nina says. Workers across industries have expressed concerns about staying relevant in the work and skills of the pandemic. Blah, blah, blah. And Nina had her first child during the pandemic, which took a lot of her focus, she says. But lockdown and the isolation that came with COVID gave her a lot of time to think about what she wants, what's best for her health and her career. But not the child, of course. Those the child has no bearing, and there's no mention of a father could not be reached for comment. She's been turned down for 2 jobs already, one that would be perfect, she says. She's not deterred, though. penis. Don't you girls, are you tired, girls? I'm tired reading through this. She's not deterred, though. There's always more frustration at school that pushes her back to the job boards. Fellow Redditors offer advice and guidance in droves, suggesting other potential careers, working with a headhunter, or simply sending encouragement. Suck a dick. Suck a dick. Watch John Wick and suck a dick. It's not hard, though it's hard. We could do a, what's it called? A Broadway play. Suck a dick, suck a dick. It's not John Wick, but it's the trick. I'm going to stay as long as I can until I find something better. I will not resign and then look for another job, she says. I love the kids. I love my colleagues. They're not my favorite people, but I respect them. We have a good dynamic, and I don't want to be unemployed. I have a baby, and daycare costs just as much as no. Oh, I'm not joking. American women don't like their kids. They don't. I know she's French, Western women. Okay, she's American now. All right, she's over here. They don't. Your mom doesn't like you. That's going to be a truth going forward. And I'm going to have so many future clients at Asshole Consulting. Like, it's like watching two bums having gay sex in a public park. And I'm looking at him like, and no one else looks at it and sees it. I'm like, am I the only one that sees the gay bums having sex in the park? Is anyone going to call the cops? Is no one seeing this? I'm like, is anyone seeing the moms not taking care of their kids? Is anyone else seeing this? The parents not raising the children? Am I the only one that doesn't see it? No? All right. Okay. That's fine. All right. Let's get to the final super chats, and Cappy's going to go get din. Thanks for joining me, by the way, guys. It's nice to be back. So let's get you. If you have super chats, get them in now. Because hey, Rurb's in the house. Did you get an endorsement from Ford, Aaron? I can't imagine you doing anything for it. No, I just like the hat. So Rob, Chad, I'm gonna be on Chad Elkins' show tomorrow. Then Chad's going on Rurb's show after that. I might join Rurb. So subscribe to Rob Says. You can find his website at robsays.net, or just click on his bio there, and you can go to his YouTube channel. Oh, you're right. Hang on. Let me play this. Let me play this for the woman. For my child. And I won't give up. I won't give up on the American Indians that I studied from afar. Did you know that daycare costs just as much as rent? I don't even live in a nice part of the Indian reservation. All right. Eric Burns Marsh, $2. People avoid math when they should avoid meth. Yes, that they should. Burb, $5. I don't know. I see short dudes 5'7" to 5'9", decent looking, scoring decent amount of women. Short, good looking people are in the same level of tall and ugly. Yeah, like if you're 5'7", I mean I guess that'd be the 5'7", 5'9". That's fine. You'll still do fine. You just have to date shorter girls. I didn't ask out more girls. But if you were like 5'4", I wouldn't bother with your face then. I just wouldn't. Oh, hang on. Let me take this. That's a sad event right there. That's the first spam call I've gotten from the 605 area code. There's so few people in South Dakota. We have one area code, 605. You know, like those cool Gen X brewmeisters, they named their beer after the zip code? Huh? Huh? No, area code, the area code. The 312. Huh? Hey, come here so I can punch you in your face. All right. Hold still. Innocent reasons Aaron wants to punch people in the face. I got a list. Holy cow, do I have a list? Driving slow. um, but getting back to your thing, yeah. If you're 5'4", no. But if you're 5'9", yeah, go ahead. I wouldn't let women determine that much of my happiness in life. I just really wouldn't. Maybe you're younger, maybe you haven't gotten laid, maybe you think they're more than they are. I don't know. I got one life. I'm done. I'm out. Ass bucket 62, $5. New York Times. Who will care for kinless seniors? Retired librarian, never married at 77. She has outlived her parents, 3 partners, her closet friends, 8 cats. Send me that one, ass bucket. Send me that. I don't know. Isn't that what the Medicare check is for? Don't you girls love making out with government checks, right? You just love it. You masturbate with a government check because it replaces men. You cuddle it. You go on dates with government check. Channel 1800 dumb. 2 New Zealand dollars. Take care and get well. Rest up. I will. I will. Get nice sleep. Yeah, that Rurb gave it to me. I was like, Rob, you got the original? Because I could find bad saxophone versions of it. George Michael, I think. The lesbian mustard bottle for $2. Nothing to say. Thank you, lesbian mustard bottle. Ralph Raphael, $5. Will being a minimalist hurt in dating most women in the US and most Western countries? Will being a minimalist hurt in dating most women in the West? I don't know if it's gonna hurt. I mean, I think hurt too strong of a word. It's gonna annoy. It's gonna let them down. I don't think it's gonna hurt them. I mean, they're already pissed off. The men are like, let's do a coffee date, or they live at home. I know. I have single female friends, and their complaints are not trivial. They're not lying. I mean, the quality and caliber of men out there is absolute crap. And I know actually a couple of female friends who they're Republican conservatives. They're like, you're either paying for the date or not at all. I'm like, really? Because they're salt daddies. They're sick and tired of salt. There's sugar daddies and then there's salt daddies, guys who like don't spend the money. And I'm kind of like, but they got to get to know you, like especially at that age. I'm like, you girls ain't young spring chickens no more. These guys are in the prime of minutes counting their lives. I could see them doing dinners and coffee. So I think it will frustrate more women. It will agitate them, but you're not hurt if you got a coffee instead of a steak dinner. You just got coffee instead of a steak dinner. You're not pained. You're not transgressed upon. You just didn't get what you want. Um, but in the long run, it would actually help those women who are savvy about finances. Minimalism would help them because they would find a guy who, one, isn't a materialist, which means he is pursuing other people as the number one thing in life, presumably love with a woman. And 2, he should have good finances. So that should help out women in the long run. But again, I understand you girls are not all that interested in marriage or dating. All right, couple more, then I gotta go. Dung is fun, $2. A hot toddy will help out with the cough. Yep, I got the candidate gave me a prescription, so I'm good to go. Is that it? I think we're all caught up. Here we go, guys. All right, that's it. If you kindly would check out academiccomposition.com, where Alex's crack team of writing staff will write your papers for you if you're going to college. The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. Check that out if you want to get less angry and be more content and peaceful in life. And then there's all my books: Bachelor Economics, The Book of Numbers, Curse of the High IQ, Bachelor Economics, Poor Rich's Retirement. Go get that. You always make your money back on those books. That's my guarantee. You will make 10 times back what you spend on those books if you do what's in the book. And then also linked below is a link to my Teachable course that is open all the time, Achieving Financial Excellence. If you want to get serious about your financial planning, take that course. That is meant to be your very first step. That's your first step because it talks about the nature and purpose of wealth. So you're not just like, oh, I got to get more money. Well, why do you got to get more money? Oh, because more money equals better. Yeah, but do you know what you're doing and why? Because if you don't know why you're doing it, then if things change, you can't formulate a new formula. You need to understand why you're investing and what is the true economic, philosophical nature of wealth. So take that course. That's there. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.